very good morning to you and welcome to the Monday edition of Trending Issues, a program that comes to you live from AF Television. Trust that you are doing just fine. It's a brand new week and we hope that this week will be a better week than last week. All right, welcome to the program. My name is Faith Okanwa and we have the regulars in the studio. We have Odeme James. Odeme, you're welcome to the program.
It's my pleasure.
And Jennifer, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, together we're going to be looking at some of the issues that are trending in Nigeria and, of course, outside the globe. Don't forget you can join the conversation through all our social media platforms. Like using the like button. Also share, invite your friends to join us on what we're doing this morning. And also drop your comments and make your contributions on the program Trending Issues. All right, I will begin quickly with the breaking news. It's a very sad one. And it's so unfortunate that we'll have to start with... on a sad note with that news, we're talking about a very popular veteran Nollywood actress in the person of Ada Ameh. Of course, she's from Delta State. She died yesterday. Of course, it's a very sad event. Some persons have been is this true or not? But relevant authorities have confirmed that Ada Ameh is no longer here with us on earth. James, let's get your reaction on this painful demise of Ada Ameh.
It's a sad one. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. That's a very big loss in Nollywood, and we actually lost a great personality. Not just a personality. She was an entertainer par excellence. So it's a loss not just to the Nollywood industry. It's a loss to Nigeria. May also rest in peace.
All right, Jennifer.
It's really sad. It's honestly sad. And to think that she went through a lot after her daughter's death. It's really saddening that after, she tried to be strong, but I guess what it was quite bigger than her. It's sad that she had to go at this point in time. The world will really miss her. Nollywood will miss her so much.
All right, a heartfelt condolence to the families of Ada Ameh, and of course, everybody will miss her. Of course, lovers of her movies. She's a quite popular face, and about 2 years ago, she lost her daughter, grown-up daughter, and she has been trying to overcome that trauma. Of course, I may have soul rest in peace. That was talking about Nollywood actress Ada Ameh. It's still trending issues. AF Television. Don't forget to join the conversation through all our social media platforms. Of course, you can also call in through the studio to make your comments or your contributions on the topics that we are talking about using the studio line that is on display on the screen. Okay, we'll start the program again with Osun State election. Of course, Saturday was the D-Day, the much awaited day for the Osun governorship election, and the tussle was so hot. Of course, 15 political parties participated in that election, and you know that even if it were 100 parties, one person must emerge winner, and it seemed that the fight was majorly between the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, and the APC. And after that election, the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Ademola Adeleke, Senator Ademola Adeleke, people call him the dancing senator. He was declared the winner. Don't forget that he contested in 2018, and of course he lost to Adegboyega Oyetola, the APC candidate, who is the incumbent governor. Of course, I will just take a look at the video of the declaration of Senator Ademola Adeleke as the winner of that election. And when we come back, we will talk more on the topic.
Of PDP haven't satisfied the requirements of the law is hereby declared the winner.
That was Senator Ademola Adeleke, dancing senator. Because that dancing senator has become the dancing governor-elect of Osun State. Of course, him dancing there, that was an old video, and he was declared the winner of that Guba election that held on Saturday. He polled a total of 403,371 against the APC counterparts and the incumbent governor of that state, who polled 375,018. Of course, so many people are saying, oh, how can an incumbent governor be defeated? Don't forget that we have the electronic system of voting, we have the Electoral Act, and we have INEC, who some people are saying, okay, it seems that INEC is trying to tell us that you need to believe in us as regards to this election, especially as the 2023 is fast approaching. Of course, don't forget that that election in Osun State was also marred with a vote buying and a little bit of violence. Of course, some of the security operatives arrested some persons who were trying to vote and sell, to buy and sell votes. But of course, at the end, a winner emerged. Let's get your reaction, Jennifer, on that election that happened on Saturday.
Okay, the election that happened, though it was marred by vote buying, just like you've mentioned, I particularly like the fact that the electronic system actually did work. That it didn't take a long while, number of days before votes were counted and results, came up. That is one thing I particularly like about that process, and also the fact that the incumbent governor didn't emerge as the winner. It's one way to say that actually it was fair. The election was fair, I believe so, because just like we've always known in the past, the incumbent governor is always going to emerge as the governorship elect in every circumstance. So we are INEC is actually INEC is actually doing well. If this is how it's going to be in the next year's elections, we do hope it's going to remain like that, like it's going to happen, and not just for now.
So do you think that INEC will continue even when 2023 arrives, the general election?
It's going to be a tough one, I must say, but I do hope that they remain strong and they are unabated. Neither would they be bots. That is just what I do hope for, so that the people's choice would happen, because a lot of people have lost trust in INEC over the years, because in as much as some politicians are involved in rigging and buying of votes and all of those things, INEC too have a role to play in making sure that whatever it is the people want happens. INEC has a role to play in this democracy we're even talking about, because when they do not conduct a free and fair election, the people's choice is relegated to the background.
But INEC has come out to say that they cannot control vote buying.
Well, I do believe that somehow there's something they can do. The emergence of security personnel in that place is one way to curtail vote buying. When those security personnel are always at alert and they themselves are not even being bought over, because some of the security officials there could be bought over, and when they see such events happening, they keep quiet, and that is not what it's supposed to be. So INEC should be able to sensitize their members and also, speak to the heads of securities to also talk to their people. The most important thing is what the people want to happen. You understand? Democracy should always take place in every circumstance, no matter what it is. That is what is most important. No matter the amount of money anybody is willing to give some other person, they should always make sure that, because at the end of the day, if a bad person gets into office, even those INEC officials and the security personnel will also suffer. You understand? By the time they are not being paid salaries, by the time they are plying the road and they have accidents, by the time their children are out of school, they're also going to test the national cake that they have caused for everybody.
All right, talking about democracy, the President Muhammadu Buhari, in his congratulatory message to the governor-elect of Osun State, mentioned a little bit of democracy, him being consistent in ensuring that democracy plays out in all elections. I'm going to take that congratulatory message of Mr. President to Senator Ademola Adeleke, who is the Osun State governor-elect, and I quote, "I congratulate Senator Ademola Adeleke, candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on his victory in the Osun gubernatorial election. The people of Osun have expressed their will through the ballot. This is what democracy is all about, respect for the will of the people. The successful conduct of Osun Decides 2022 is a demonstration of the maturity and the commitment of all stakeholders towards strengthening the integrity of the electoral process in Nigeria. I remain fully committed to leaving behind a legacy of credible elections in Nigeria." James. That last part gives me so much joy, where the president said he remains committed to leave a legacy of credible elections.
I want to start by congratulating our dancing senator, Senator Adeleke. I want to also say one or two things about the election. What happened in Osun State on Saturday is an indication that shows the place of personality over party structure. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that people now consider the personality. Now, if you go to understand that if APC, if the ruling party was anything to go by, they would have won landslide. But because of the personality APC and PDP feel, you get to understand that people now vote for what? Personality over what? Over party. So coming back to what you just said now, you get to understand that yes, what Mr. President did is quite commendable. There was no interference. I was thinking that maybe one or two things because of their candidate that is there, that there would be a political interference. But you get to understand that the president was so neutral. So what he did was quite commendable.
All right, the current Minister for Interior, that's talking about Rauf Aregbesola, of course, he handed over to the incumbent governor for Osun State, that's talking about Oyetodola. And some persons are saying that the incumbent did not win because he's no longer in the good books of Aregbesola.
When you're talking about where it is not a must that an incumbent governor must return to power. If the people notice that the person is not doing well, it is not a must. Like, I get to understand that this partiality is not inheritance. If you are sitting governor, you are not doing well, some other person should take over from you. So it is not anybody's right that maybe if you don't do well, maybe you have to continue the next tenure.
So do you feel that God, for that reason, did not play in that election?
No. I didn't see. It did not play out.
It was the people's will.
It was the people's will. It was a reflection of the democracy. In fact, I saw democracy in 2000 in Osun State election.
All right, still talking about Rauf Aregbesola. While the election was ongoing in his state, Osun State, on Saturday, he was somewhere far away in America, and a Nigerian decided to bring him up to tell us this man is not even in his state, and this is what he's doing. Of course, a video has gone viral showing the Minister for Interior, that's talking about Rauf Aregbesola, in a restaurant in America, but he was trying to get some food to eat. Of course, food is good, but one of us, a Nigerian that is based there, was making a video record of him, and they seem to be clashing. Let's take a look at that video, and when we come back, we will dissect the video.
Now to get I'm having a good time here. Hello. Is it Aregbesola? I just said hello and he left. You look like, are you Aregbesola? Pardon?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a Nigerian.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I saw you. I think I recognize you. Aregbesola.
Sit down, please.
Thank you. No. Your Excellency, I have to. No, you can't touch. You can't touch me. It's America. You can't touch this.
You can't record me.
But you can't touch me.
I have the right to my privacy.
So you have to tell me this is America. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. You can't. No, this is not Nigeria. You can't just take my phone. This is America.
I have the right to my privacy.
So you just tell me that. This is America. This is a free country. Do you understand? This is a free country. I can do what I like in America.
You cannot.
I can do what I want in America.
I cannot record you without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that if I want to record Biden. Biden can't tell me that.
Come again.
This is America. If I want to, even Biden, this is a free country. This is not Nigeria. You are alive. Don't touch me. If you touch me, I will sue you. I'm an American. Don't touch me. You can't touch me. This is America. If you touch me, I will sue you. And I said, leave me alone. This is a free country. This is a free country. This is not Nigeria. You're alive. This is not Nigeria.
You cannot record me without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
You cannot record without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
I have the right to my privacy.
This is America. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. You are not in Nigeria. This is America. Biden can't tell me I cannot record it.
You cannot record without my authority.
You are in America. You are in America. You are not in Nigeria. You are in America.
This man is sick.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Sit down.
You are in America.
He's recording without my authority.
The video showing Rauf Aregbesola, Minister of Interior, in America, in a restaurant far away in America, trying to get food to eat, and a Nigerian who is based there decided to record him without his consent. Of course, in that video you could hear him saying, "Are you Rauf Aregbesola?" And he was asking, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm a Nigerian." He even called him to come sit, and of course he saying, "Please take the camera off my face. Of course, you are invading my privacy." But this man was bent on saying that it is my right to video you. Jennifer, let's get your own view.
This is America. Biden can't tell me that. What does that even mean? That if it were even if it were America, does it mean that you have the right to invade somebody's privacy? Apart from the fact that he invaded the man's privacy, the politician's privacy, it's actually disrespect. This man is quite older than he is for him to have, followed him about, recording him. And even when the man had asked him politely to stop, that he has no authority to record him, he kept saying this was his right. What right gives him the right to even take a picture of someone that doesn't want to be taking a picture of, much more a video, making a video of a politician like that? We all may have our grievances towards politicians, but that doesn't give anyone the right to disrespect them in any form or any way. And I do believe that if the politician should take this up, that man would actually, go in for it, because it was invasion of privacy. He shouldn't have done that.
All right, James, let's get your own view.
I think I don't know if it is in the DNA of Nigerians too. I think we are hungry for scandal. that we are not happy with politicians does not mean that they don't, I mean, what's it called? They don't have their private decision. That a public figure does not mean they don't have
their private life.
Imagine going through the video is quite embarrassing for a man of his age. Just for him to go and eat, somebody will be following you up and down. It's quite insulting. But I want to say, like that young man, if that man was his father, I don't think he would have done that. Doesn't mean that as a minister of the Federal Republic doesn't have his private life. Maybe you should follow him to his kitchen now. So what I'm trying to say now is quite embarrassing. It is just like my colleague said, it is an infringement of human rights. It's very bad.
All right, trending issues. AF Television, join the conversation. Like, share using the share button. Also, drop your comments, make your contributions on the topics that we are talking about this morning. Don't forget, you can also call in to the studio using the number on the screen. You can call in and tell us your own view where necessary. Don't forget, on this program also, you can advertise your products, your services, whatever thing you want the world to know about. You can call also. Someone will be there to talk with you, and your products and your services will be advertised, and you will not regret it. Okay, let's move to Zamfara State. And of course, the Zamfara State government and the Emir of Sabonbrini in Yadota, Safe local government area of that state, came under fire after that Emir conferred the chieftaincy title of Sarki Fulani to a notorious, repentant bandit leader, so to say, the person of Adamu Aliero. Of course, when that report came up, of course, it was last weekend, some reports were saying that this supposed repentant bandit was conferred a chieftaincy title, and there were hundreds of bandits graced that occasion. And let's get your reaction first before we'll tell you what the Zamfara state government has to say about that development.
It is a national embarrassment. I call it a national embarrassment because the chieftaincy title is supposed to be given to worthy sons and daughters of our country who have contributed immensely to national developments. But you get to understand that I don't know why we are celebrating criminals. So what we are seeing now is a national embarrassment because, as somebody, imagine a notorious criminal, a notorious terrorist that has been causing mayhem in the society is not supposed to be. That person is supposed to be in a sane country, in a sinner climes. That person is supposed to rot in prison. But here we are celebrating criminals.
He said he's repentant.
He's repentant. Repentant where?
Honestly, no level of repentance
No level of repentance.
should attract any sort of entitlement.
Yes.
Also, a chieftaincy title. What is that supposed to mean? Actually, for me, it means that the emir somewhat has an affiliation with the bandits. Because why would you want to, crown? Give someone that has been causing mayhem to not just the society, but the country at large. You want to confer him a chieftaincy title as what? Peacemaker. Someone that has been causing problems, a troublemaker, so to speak. You now want to confer the title of a peacemaker on him. That is very silly.
Okay, let's just take a statement accredited to the Zamfara state government. Of course, the statement was signed by the secretary to the state government, in the person of Kabiru Balarabe. I'm quoting him, and he said, "This is to inform the general public that the Zamfara state government has dissociated itself from the alleged banning of a Sarki Fulani by the Emir of Benin, Yandota of Safe local government area. In this regard, the state executive governor, Honorable Bello Mohammed Matawale, has directed for suspension of the Emir with immediate effect. Accordingly, the executive governor has approved the appointment of a committee to investigate the circumstances leading to the action of the Emir. In the meantime, Alhaji Mahe Garba Marafa, who is the district head of Yadoto, is hereby assigned to take charge of the affairs of the emirate." Suspension, is that the ultimate?
Yes, it's supposed to be suspended. It doesn't. This is not what we are not expecting from a traditional father. That is a reputable position, and that particular chieftaincy that is supposed to be given to someone that was not a criminal. So what the governor did is actually commendable.
But what should have happened to this repentant bandit leader, so to say?
When you're talking about repentant bandits, you are supposed to be pass through a rigorous process of rehabilitation before you give them an award. They don't even deserve the award in the first place. They don't even deserve the award in the first place. And secondly, these are people that you don't just bring into society. You have to make sure that they're in a good position before you give them an award.
Okay, Jennifer?
He's basically said it all. You don't give awards to people that have always been causing problems. They are, rigorous process to have gone through even before inviting them back into the society. I think they should be sent on exile at some point because of the problems they've caused. Just imagine how many people they've killed over the years. If not for any other thing, the number of people that have lost their lives because of them, and then you now confer a title to him.
Yes.
That is very, very silly.
That is
and then that's like encouraging them, and you see most of them would not even repent, but they will come. What is even repentance? Is it just when you use your mouth to say you've repented? It shows in your action, and then you should allow the action to play out over time. Someone doesn't say they are repentant yesterday and today you confer a title to him. You understand? So the Zamfara state government having to suspend him was very perfect. I do hope that they even question him as time goes on, because I do believe that he has something to do with those bandits. He has an affiliation with them. He should be questioned.
All right, Jennifer is saying that the emir should be questioned to know if he actually has an affiliation with bandits or not. All right, still talking about bandits. You know that these bandits have caused some persons to be internally displaced. You hear IDPs in some of the states. Now in Benue State, the Benue State Emergency Management Agency have come out to lament that the people in the internally displaced persons, that is these persons that were chased away from their homes, and that the government had to just construct a little shelter for them to stay for the moment. These persons, even though that they do not have food to eat, at least to live healthy, they are still in the process of procreating, giving birth to babies. And of course, this agency, that SEMA, is crying out that under 7 months, these people have given birth to 80 babies. Oh. James. Under 7 months.
Under 7 months. Somebody that is being fed.
Well, you're on the run. You don't have a proper shelter.
With a human being, I think they have feeling. At the same time, I wonder why this is how poverty continues. Poverty will continue. That is how poverty. Somebody that is being taken care of, before you know it, the only thing the person is thinking of how to do procreation and start raising children up and down. It's very bad, and I think. I don't know whether I would say SEMA should also look into this, because they will not be checking when they are having their internal affairs.
Of course, they are saying that it is married people, because there is no room for single persons to indulge in that act to procreate babies. Well, it's just married persons. Okay,
if it is for married people, I think proper sensitization would have been okay for them, because I see no reason why somebody, just like you don't have money, you are thinking of raising children. These children that are coming, how would they be taken care of? I think they need to be sensitized.
But why is it that it is usually the poor that give birth a lot?
It is common, not just the poor. It is common. If you go to the village, you got to understand that somebody that is eating from hand to mouth, these are people that have 10 children. These are people that have 4 children. You get to understand that some of them will have this, this mindset of God will take care of it. God will take care of what? You cannot have the numbers of children you can cater for. It's even with the recent economic realities on ground, you get to understand it's even better that you have the numbers of children you can cater for. So proper sensitization, especially in the community, should be okay, so that people will produce the numbers of children they can cater for.
Okay, Jennifer, let's get you.
Okay, you asked the question, why does it seem as though it's the poor people that give birth the most? I think it's because they are not educated enough to know, birth control measures. That is one. And two, they always, how do I put it? They like he has mentioned, they always hope for God to always come in their situations. But majorly, I think it's because of the fact that, they do not know exactly this birth control measure. Some of them hear it's, fairly, and then they are so scared as how do I put this in my body, how wouldn't this kill me, in less than, many things come up. Many of them are so scared of this birth control, this family planning methods. Yeah. So they just want to live. After all, they always say that God said they should,
go into the world and multiply.
I think that is yes. Coming.
So they need to be sensitized. Yes. In as much as they are not able to go to schools and all, they should be sensitized. People should talk to them, tell them how these things work. It doesn't kill people, as most people have made it seem. Birth control measures doesn't kill anyone.
All right, a couple went viral over the weekend in Akwa Ibom State. And of course, they went viral because a pastor of the Winners Chapel in that state, Akwa Ibom State, was said to have refused to wed them for coming to church late. And the groom is said to be a pastor. Of course, some reports on social media said that they came 35 minutes late. But an update on that story says that the groom came about 50 minutes late, while the bride came an hour, 2 hours later. And of course, according to further reports, they're saying that this man, the groom, who is also a pastor in the church, was called countless number of times, but he did not pick up his call to know why he is still delaying to come for his wedding. Of course, so many people have reacted to that issue, but let's get your own view, James, on that.
It is a very critical issue to discuss. At the same time, I want to, how will I call it? I just want to balance it up this way.
Okay.
In as much as we know that the things of God is very serious, we take our normal engagement very serious. I don't want to justify going to church late is not good. In as much as we take our things very serious, our daily engagement with God, we should also do what? Take it serious. Now, looking at the issue on ground now, we can't. There may be one or two unforeseen circumstances that must have led to this their lateness to church. But I think the church, the pastor went. Went to extreme. There would have been a mild way of punishing them. They should be reprimanded, not just sending them away. So I think it's not proper. Just imagine somebody that has a wedding, and then that day, get to understand that they will make up their happiness and everything. You get to understand that the pastor will tell you that it is over, we are not doing the wedding. It is not good. Even Jesus Christ wouldn't do that. That is what is then the language of love and forgiveness we are preaching in church. So I stand to be balanced here, that I'm not condemning, I'm not justifying their lateness to church. At the same time, what the pastor did is not good. It's not justifiable.
Okay, Jennifer?
A story that has many parts, you really wouldn't know where to, come in from. We've heard that they were 30 minutes late, they were 35 minutes late, they were 50 minutes late, and even an hour late. What I have to say about that is, I think the 30 minutes late could be excused because of unforeseen circumstances. You know how it is on wedding days. Yeah. You don't just, whatever it is you plan, may just, things may just go take another route. And then in the situation of the church having to refuse blatantly to wed them, I do understand that we Africans, we have what we call African time. Why that time. Is very annoying and bad. But still, on a day such as that, a wedding day, so to speak, this wasn't a normal occasion. It was a wedding day. This is a day that is going to, this couple will always remember this day for as long as they live. You understand? They may have, wasted time because of unforeseen circumstances or just because of being unable to keep up to time. But I do believe that no matter how the Reverend had wanted to punish them, that day being a special day, he should have, tampered justice with mercy in some sort. Maybe not punish them that day. Probably, in consequent times, just give them some sort of punishment to make them, and to even let other people know that coming late for such an event is actually very wrong. At least, even if them being punished would send a message to others, but having to blatantly refuse wedding them on their wedding day, I don't know how any other person sees it, but it's somewhat.
All right, that is how we'll call it a wrap on today's edition of Trending Issues. Thank you so much for joining the program on AF Television. Thank you, James, for being part of the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much for hooking up to the conversation today. And we call your way next time. It is bye for now.